Okay. So on that first day when I asked you guys about a proportional system, I don't know if you guys knew of one of these or not, but one of the things that we get from people like Michelangelo is a 7 heads proportional system. And so I'd like for you guys to draw with pencil, but I'm going to use a marker just so it shows up a little bit better for our example. But if you think of like the the line of the body, and if you draw where the head is, okay, there's a circle, right? Okay, so what I do is I think about that distance right there, and I just keep bringing that down. So if I put my thumb next to it like this, I can go, there's the second head, there's the third head, there's the fourth head, fifth head, sixth head, seventh head. So do you see how I did that? I just line my finger up and I put my thumb at the end of the head. So here's thumb to pin tip right here. And then just do it again, again, like that. Okay? So what I end up with is my next head. So we gotta have some music in this video. That's good. So. Okay, so when I do this for 5th graders, it always ends up looking like a caterpillar. So don't worry too much about that. Okay, for better or for worse, these are almost the same distance. Ideally, you want them to be about the same. So here's the top of our head, and here's where our feet will be, right here. Okay. Now half of 7 is 3.5. So there's our 3.5, right? Okay. So the middle of the body is where the great trochanter is. We got this sort of bone shaped like this. This is the femur, and this right in here where that goes into the pelvis is the great trochanter. You can feel it's the hard spot of your waist, and if you bend at your waist, that's one thing, okay? But if you bend with your pelvis, like hold your lumbar area of your back rigid and you bend forward, that's about the halfway point, okay? Now, each body's different, so this isn't like a cookie cutter for every single body. But what I've learned from Robert Beverly Hale is if in your head you have an ideal skeleton in mind, then you can look at somebody and see how they differ from that ideal skeleton. So you learn an ideal skeleton to see how people are different, not so much to make everybody conform to that. Okay, so about at the 1.5 heads down, this is sort of where the clavicle would be, and your rib cage is going to fit right in here like this. So you actually have some space that comes down here from the head into the shoulders. Okay, so here's our head. Here's where our shoulders begin. The acromion process is here at the edge. Here's our ribs. Okay, our pelvis fits in here. There's quite a bit of space in here. You know, that allows us to move. Just think how much we can move to the side before our ribs hit the pelvis, right? We got a lot of, some of us have more than others. I have quite a bit. But we got quite a bit of, flab in there so we can move. So don't draw your ribs right down to your pelvis, because then you, like this, couldn't move around. All right, now, here's our pelvis. And then out of that comes the femur, almost to the halfway point, and then out of that is your patella, and that comes down to your tibia and your fibula. And I'm going to put the feet at a slight angle, just so you can see where they are. Instead of having them come forward, toe, 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 and then ankle like that, I'm doing it at an angle just so you can see them. Okay, now the deltoid muscles holds your humerus into your shoulder girdle. This comes down. Just a little bit below the rib cage. And then your ulna and radius come down. And they're not quite as long as your humerus. Up just a little bit. And sometimes, I don't know what I've done wrong. I mean, I always make a mistake in my drawing. And sometimes that's the nice thing about a drawing. It's not exactly, like a stencil. But it could be that I've